My wife said, "If you can't handle my parents living in our house, we're done." I said, "Understood." Then I served eviction notices to her parents and filed for divorce. 72 hours later, she was calling from a motel begging to come back. I, 36 male, own my house. Bought it 5 years ago, 3 years before I married my wife, 33. Titles in my name only. Mortgage payments come from my account. This becomes relevant. My in-laws moved in 6 months ago, temporarily, while they figured things out after her dad retired early due to some workplace drama. Said they needed maybe 2 months max to find an apartment. 2 months became 4. 4 became 6. And what started as quiet house guests turned into full-blown permanent residents who'd completely taken over my life. Her mom rearranged my kitchen without asking, threw out half my spices because nobody needs this many. Started buying groceries and cooking meals I didn't ask for, then got offended when I made my own dinner. Left passive-aggressive notes about proper ways to load a dishwasher. Her dad took over my garage, set up a woodworking station, power tools everywhere, sawdust on everything. When I asked him to clean up, he laughed and said, "This is what garages are for, son." My weights got shoved in the corner, covered in wood shavings. They monopolized the living room every night. Her dad watched his shows at volume level 35. No headphones, no consideration. If my wife and I wanted to watch something, we had to go to our bedroom like teenagers hiding from parents. The bathroom situation was insane. Her mom took 45-minute showers every morning, using all the hot water. Left her stuff everywhere. Hair products, face creams, some weird supplements. My electric bill tripled. But the worst part? The complete lack of boundaries. Her mom would walk into our bedroom without knocking. Just checking if you have laundry. Her dad helped himself to my beer, my tools, even borrowed my car twice without asking. When I said something, he acted like I was being petty. 3 weeks ago, I told my wife we needed to talk about a timeline. When were they actually leaving? She got defensive immediately. They're family, they're going through a hard time. It's been 6 months, that's not temporary. What do you want me to do? Throw my parents on the street? I want them to find their own place like they said they would. She looked at me like I'd suggested something horrible. I can't believe you're being like this. They raised me. They need help. They're living rent-free in my house, taking over every room, running up my bills. Your house? It's our house. Actually, no. It's legally my house. I bought it before we got married. My name's on everything. Wrong thing to say. She went nuclear. Started yelling about how marriage means sharing everything, how I was treating her like a tenant. How dare I throw legal ownership in her face. That fight ended with her sleeping in the guest room, with her parents down the hall, in my house. The final straw came last Tuesday. I worked from home, had an important video call with a client, specifically told everyone I needed quiet from 2 to 4 p.m. Closed my office door. At 2:30, her dad started using his table saw. The whining scream of power tools came right through the floor. I messaged my wife, "Can you please ask him to stop? I'm on a call." She messaged back, "He's almost done with his project, just deal with it." I had to apologize to my client, reschedule the call, looked completely unprofessional. Lost my temper when I went downstairs. I specifically said I needed quiet. Her dad didn't even look up. "Relax, it's just noise. You're too sensitive. This is my house, I work here. I asked for 2 hours of quiet." My wife appeared. "Don't talk to my father like that. He's using power tools during my work call." "Then go somewhere else. God, you're so controlling about everything." Her mom chimed in from the kitchen. "We've been very patient with your attitude, but this is getting ridiculous. We're family. Family makes accommodations." Something in me just snapped. The months of frustration, the boundary violations, the complete entitlement. I looked at my wife. "I want them out. 2 weeks. She laughed. Actually laughed. "That's not happening. They've been here 6 months. They need to leave." "No, they're staying until they're ready to leave. If you can't handle my parents living in our house, then maybe you're not ready for marriage. Maybe we're done." She said it like a threat, like an ultimatum that would make me back down and apologize. I looked at her parents watching from their claimed territories in my house, the entitlement radiating off all 3 of them. "Understood," I said quietly. Went upstairs to my office, closed the door, Made some calls. By Thursday morning, I'd consulted a divorce attorney, free consultation, very informative. Had formal eviction notices drafted for her parents, 30 days, legally required. Filed divorce papers. Changed the locks on my office door. Documented every overdue bill, every boundary violation, everything. Friday morning, my wife left for work around 8 a.m. Her parents were in the kitchen making breakfast, acting like they owned the place. I came downstairs with 2 envelopes. I need you both to read these. Her dad didn't even look up from his coffee. Whatever it is can wait. No, it can't. I put the envelopes on the table. These are formal eviction notices. You have 30 days to vacate the property. Silence. Then her mom picked up the envelope, opened it, read. Her face went from confused to red. You can't do this. I can. It's my house. You're not on the lease. You've been here past your welcome. You have 30 days as required by law. Her dad stood up, trying to look intimidating. Our daughter lives here. You can't evict us. Your daughter will also be receiving divorce papers today. She gave me an ultimatum yesterday. I'm accepting her terms. Her mom's voice went shrill. Divorce? Over us staying here? You're insane. You're not staying here. You've taken over. And when I asked for basic respect and a timeline, your daughter said if I couldn't handle it, we were done. So we're done. Called a locksmith. Had them come that afternoon. Changed every lock. Her parents were home, losing their minds, calling my wife repeatedly. My wife came home at 3 p.m. T's not working. Pounding on the door. Answered through the Ring camera. Read the papers that were served to you today. What are you doing? Let me in. You gave me an ultimatum. You said if I couldn't handle your parents living here, we were done. I'm accepting that. Divorce papers were filed this morning. You can't be serious. Your parents have 30 days to leave per legal requirements. You can stay at your parents' place, or a hotel, or wherever, but you're not coming back in here. Her parents appeared behind her, suitcases in hand, screaming about illegal eviction, calling the cops, suing me. The eviction is legal. I gave 30 days written notice. You're not tenants with a lease, so I'm actually being generous. Call your lawyer. I didn't open the door. Watched through the camera as all 3 of them stood on my porch, her parents yelling, my wife crying and threatening. My neighbor actually came out, asked if everything was okay. When I explained through the window that I was in the middle of a divorce and eviction, he nodded and said, "Good luck, man." They eventually left. Her parents' car loaded with suitcases, my wife in the passenger seat looking shell-shocked. Got a text an hour later. We need to talk. This is insane. You're throwing away our marriage over nothing. I replied, you gave me an ultimatum. I chose. There's nothing to discuss. I didn't mean it like that. I was just frustrated. You said if I can't handle your parents living here, we're done. I can't handle it. So we're done. You were clear. 3 hours later, her lawyer called. Some friend of a friend sounded barely qualified. Mr. Last Name, my client would like to discuss reconciliation. No reconciliation. She set the terms. I'm following through. This is extremely hasty, don't you think? Her parents have been living in my house for 6 months rent-free. They've taken over every space. When I asked for basic boundaries, I was told to accept it or the marriage was over. I made my choice. My client says this was a misunderstanding. Great. She can explain that to a judge. Update 1. 1 week later, the entitlement somehow got worse. Her parents tried coming back Tuesday. Rang the doorbell for 20 minutes. Her dad started pounding on the door, yelling about his rights and illegal lockout. I called the cops. Non-emergency line. Explained the situation. I legally evicted 2 people who'd been staying in my home. They'd been served formal notices. They're now harassing me. Cop showed up, reviewed the eviction notices I'd provided, told her parents they needed to leave or they'd be arrested for trespassing. Her dad tried arguing. The cop wasn't interested. Sir, you were given legal notice. This isn't your property. You need to leave. Her mom started crying about how cruel I was, how they had nowhere to go. The cop looked tired. Ma'am, you have 23 days left on your notice. You're not homeless. You're just not allowed to harass the property owner. They left. Her dad was screaming about lawsuits the whole way. Wednesday, my wife showed up at my work, waited in the parking lot, ambushed me as I left. We need to talk. No, we don't. Everything goes through lawyers now. Please, just give me 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I stopped. 5 minutes. This is crazy. You're ending our marriage because my parents needed help? That's so cold. I'm ending our marriage because you gave me an ultimatum. You said if I couldn't handle them living there, we were done. I was upset. I didn't mean we should actually divorce. Then you shouldn't have said it. You made your position clear. If I wanted them gone, the marriage was over, so I'm accepting both. They have nowhere to go. That's not my problem. They've had 6 months to figure it out. Where are they supposed to live? Anywhere but my house. They're adults. They had jobs and lives before this. Figure it out. You're being heartless. I'm being done. You chose them over our marriage, over basic respect in my own home. That's your choice to live with. She started crying. I love you. I don't want a divorce. You should have thought about that before the ultimatum. I'll tell them to leave. They can find an apartment. Just stop the divorce. No. What do you mean no? I mean, this showed me who you are. Your parents disrespected me for 6 months. You enabled and defended them. When I finally pushed back, you threatened our marriage. That's not someone I want to be married to. So that's it? 3 years of marriage gone? You're the one who said we were done. I'm just following through. She tried grabbing my arm. Please, I made a mistake. Don't do this. Your 5 minutes are up. Don't come to my work again. Thursday brought a new tactic. Her mom started a group text with my family. My parents, my sister, my aunt. Sob story about how I'd thrown them out and was destroying the family. My mom called immediately. What's going on? Explained everything. The 6 months, the boundary violations, the ultimatum, all of it. Mom was quiet for a minute. Then, good for you. Her parents sound exhausting. Don't let them guilt you. My sister responded to the group text. Maybe don't take over someone's house for 6 months, then complain when there are consequences. Just a thought. Her mom tried defending herself in the group chat. My aunt shut it down. You're not getting sympathy here. Find your own place to live. They kept trying though. Her dad called my office directly, somehow got through to my extension. We need to talk man to man. No, we don't. You're making a huge mistake. Breaking up a family over what? Some space issues? Space issues? You took over my entire house. You ignored every boundary. You told me to relax when you disrupted my work. That's not space issues, that's entitlement. We were just trying to help, cooking, cleaning. I didn't ask for help. I asked for respect. And when I tried setting boundaries, your daughter threatened divorce, so here we are. She didn't mean it. Doesn't matter. She said it. Actions have consequences. You're gonna regret this. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. Hung up, blocked his number. Friday evening, 72 hours after changing the locks, my phone rang. Unknown number. Answered cautiously. Baby, please. My wife's voice, shaky. I'm at a motel. My parents are at another one. This is insane. Just let us come home. That's not your home anymore. I'm your wife. You're my soon-to-be ex-wife. You made your choice. I chose wrong. I'm sorry. I should have set boundaries with them. I see that now. Little late for that revelation. We can fix this. I'll tell them they need to find their own place immediately. They're already looking at apartments. Good for them. That doesn't change anything between us. Why are you being like this? Because you showed me who you prioritize. When it came down to it, you picked them over me, over our marriage, over basic respect in my own home. One mistake. I made one mistake. No, you made months of mistakes. You let them take over. You defended every boundary violation. You told me I was too sensitive, too controlling, too everything. The ultimatum was just the final one. So you're really doing this? Divorce? Over my parents? Over your lack of respect? Over your priorities? Over you thinking you could threaten me into submission? Yeah, I'm really doing this. I can't afford this motel much longer. Not my problem. Where am I supposed to go? Anywhere. Stay with friends, get an apartment, move in with your parents wherever they end up. I genuinely don't care. We took vows. You broke them when you told me we were done if I couldn't handle your parents living in my house indefinitely. She was full-on sobbing now. Please. I love you. I'll do anything. Then you should have done anything before the ultimatum. Don't hang up, please. I hung up. Blocked that number too. Update 2. 3 weeks later. The legal warfare kicked into gear and the entitlement reached new heights. Her lawyer filed for temporary spousal support. Claimed she'd been financially dependent and needed money immediately for housing. Asked for $3,000 each month plus half the house value. My lawyer laughed when she read it. The house is premarital property in your name only. She has no claim, and she works full-time. This is a Hail Mary. Court date was set for 2 weeks out. Meanwhile, the harassment continued from every angle. Her parents found where I got my coffee, ambushed me in line Monday morning. Her mom started loud crying about family and abandonment. "You're breaking my daughter's heart. Your daughter broke our marriage. She made one mistake. You're being vindictive. I'm being done. There's a difference." Her dad stepped closer, trying intimidation again. "You're gonna give her what she deserves. She deserves exactly what she threatened me with, a divorce." The barista was watching nervously. Her dad kept going. "You think you can just throw people away? Family doesn't work like that. You're not my family. You were house guests who overstayed by 5 months and destroyed my peace. We helped you. We cooked. We cleaned. I didn't want your help. I wanted my house back." Her mom grabbed my arm. Actually grabbed me. "You need to stop this divorce. Talk to our daughter." Pulled my arm away. "Don't touch me." And no. Left without my coffee. Reported them to the manager for harassment. Got banned from that coffee shop, which sucks, because I liked it there. Her former friends started a whisper campaign, mutual people we knew, painting me as the villain who abandoned his wife and kicked out elderly parents. Most people who actually knew the situation had my back. But a few bought into the sob story, lost some connections, whatever. The real escalation came Wednesday. I came home from work to find my side gate broken. Security camera caught her dad trying to get into the backyard, presumably to access his woodworking stuff still in the garage. Called cops again, filed trespassing report. They went to the motel, gave him a warning. He tried explaining about his property in the garage. "Cop, is your name on the house title?" Him, "No, but..." "Cop, then it's not your property. Stay away or you'll be arrested." Her dad called me that night, furious. "I need my tools. You have 16 days left on your eviction notice. You can collect your belongings then, with 24 hours written notice as required." "That's my equipment. I bought those tools. Then you should have taken them when you left. I'm not running a storage facility. I'm coming to get them. Try it, and you'll be arrested. I have cameras everywhere and a police report on file." This is theft. No, this is an eviction you're refusing to comply with. Follow the legal process or face consequences. He hung up screaming. Thursday brought the court hearing for temporary support. We showed up, her with her budget lawyer, me with mine. Her lawyer argued she'd built a life around our marriage and sacrificed her career to support the household. My lawyer pulled out bank statements. She works full-time, makes $48,000 a year, has her own checking account. The only thing she sacrificed was her free housing when she threatened divorce. Judge reviewed the evidence. Our finances were always separate. She had her own income. The house was mine before marriage. I'm not seeing grounds for temporary support. She has employment and income. The marital home is premarital property. Motion denied. Her lawyer tried objecting. Judge shut it down. Your client issued an ultimatum. Her husband accepted. That's not financial abandonment. That's the consequence of her own words. Next. Outside the courthouse, her parents were waiting, started screaming the second we appeared. Her mom, "You're stealing from us. Our stuff is in that house." My lawyer stepped in. "Your belongings will be available for pickup per the eviction notice timeline. You have 2 weeks. Her dad, "We should have never let our daughter marry him." My lawyer, "Then you should be happy about the divorce." Her mom lunged at me. Actually tried to hit me. My lawyer blocked her. Courthouse security intervened. "Ma'am, you need to leave immediately." Her parents were escorted off property, threatened with arrest if they returned. My wife stood there watching, mascara running. "Are you happy now? I'm getting there. This is all your fault." "No, this is all your ultimatum's fault." Her lawyer tried one more play. "My client is willing to withdraw the divorce if you allow a reconciliation period." "Tell your client I'm not interested. The divorce stands." Walked away. Her lawyer called after me about acting in good faith, but I kept walking. Got home to find someone had egged my house. Security footage showed her mom's car driving by around 2 a.m., passenger window down, eggs flying. Filed another police report, provided video evidence. Cops went to the motel, gave her mom a citation for vandalism. Her dad called raging about the citation. That's gonna cost her $500. Should have thought about that before throwing eggs. You're destroying this family. Your daughter destroyed our marriage. You two destroyed my peace for 6 months. I'm just enforcing boundaries. We'll see what the judge says about everything. Looking forward to it. The eviction deadline was approaching. They'd made zero effort to actually move their stuff. Her dad's entire workshop still in my garage, her mom's collection of kitchen gadgets still everywhere. Sent certified letters. You have 72 hours to remove all belongings per eviction notice. After that, items will be considered abandoned and disposed of. Her dad showed up with her lawyer, waste of money if you ask me, demanding more time. My lawyer, the notice was 30 days. They're on day 29. They had plenty of time. Her lawyer, they need help moving. They're elderly. My lawyer, they're 58 and 60. They can hire movers. Not my client's problem. This is unreasonable. What's unreasonable is taking over someone's home for 6 months, refusing to respect any boundaries, then acting shocked when there are consequences. Her dad, we're family. My lawyer, you're trespassers with an expired deadline. They finally hired movers. Took them 2 days to clear out. Her dad kept muttering threats. Movers looked uncomfortable. When they finished, her dad stood in my driveway, one last time. You're going to regret this. Already told you, only regret is not doing it sooner. He spit on my driveway and left. Final update, 8 weeks later. Divorce finalized last week. Judge's ruling was pretty straightforward given the circumstances. I kept the house, premarital property, title in my name only. She tried arguing for half the equity gained during marriage. Judge wasn't buying it. The property was owned outright before marriage. Your client contributed nothing to mortgage or improvements. There's no claim here. She got her personal belongings, her car that she was making payments on, and exactly nothing else. No alimony, no asset split. Her lawyer tried arguing marital standard of living, but the judge pointed out she'd been living rent-free in my house and still maintained her own income. Your client had the benefit of free housing. That ends with the marriage. She has her job and her income. She'll be fine. The stunned look on her face when the judge denied everything was something. Like she genuinely believed threatening me would either make me cave or would somehow work in her favor legally. Her parents weren't in court, probably couldn't afford to take more time off work. Yeah, turns out her dad's retirement was actually him getting fired for repeated conflicts with management. Her mom worked part-time retail. They'd been living off their savings, which is why they never found their own place. They couldn't actually afford one. My wife had known this, had known they were basically broke and planning to mooch indefinitely. Never told me. When I found out during discovery, that last bit of guilt I'd been carrying evaporated. After the ruling, she tried one more time in the parking lot. I hope you're happy. I'm getting there. I have to rent a studio apartment now. Can barely afford it. You have a job, you'll figure it out. My parents are living in a 1-bedroom, sleeping on an air mattress in their living room. Not my problem. How can you be so cold? You gave me an ultimatum. You told me if I couldn't handle your parents taking over my life, we were done. I chose being done. This is what you wanted. I didn't want this. You wanted me to shut up and accept your parents living in my house forever. That wasn't happening. So this is the alternative you forced. I made a mistake. Yep, and mistakes have consequences. You're living yours. She started crying. I loved you. Past tense. Noted. I can't believe you're this person. I can't believe you thought threatening divorce was going to make me more accommodating to your entitled parents. We're both surprised. Drove away. She stood there in the parking lot. Didn't look back. The aftermath's been interesting. Her friends who believed her sob story have mostly disappeared now that the truth came out in legal proceedings. Her parents are apparently still working and living in that 1-bedroom, fighting constantly from what I've heard through the grapevine. My wife's working overtime to afford the studio. Complaining on social media about starting over and toxic people who abandon family. Some people buy it. Most who know the real story don't. My family's been solid. Mom helped me repaint the garage, erase all traces of her dad's workshop. My sister helped me redecorate the living room, make it feel like mine again. House feels bigger without 3 extra people taking up space. Quieter. More peaceful. I can work without power tools screaming through the floor. I can watch TV without someone else controlling the remote. I can load my dishwasher however I want. Small things, but they matter. As for me, I'm doing okay. Better than okay, honestly. The stress that had been building for 6 months, gone. No more walking on eggshells in my own home. No more passive-aggressive notes. No more being told I'm too sensitive for wanting basic respect. Financially, I'm solid. The divorce didn't touch my house or savings. Her credit card bills she ran up after moving out? Her problem. Judge made it clear any debt she incurred post-separation wasn't marital. Started a new routine. Morning coffee at a different shop. Gym 4 times a week instead of hiding in my bedroom. Lunch with coworkers I'd been too exhausted to socialize with. Getting back to normal. Or better than normal. Normal without in-laws treating my house like theirs. My neighbor who witnessed some of the drama stopped me last week. "Hey, house looks good. Glad that situation resolved." "Thanks. Yeah, much better now." If it means anything, my wife and I could hear them through the walls sometimes. "Your father-in-law was loud." "Yeah, he was. You did the right thing standing up for yourself." Appreciated that. Sometimes you need external validation that you weren't crazy. Ran into an old friend who asked about the marriage. Explained the situation briefly. In-laws moved in supposedly temporarily, took over everything. Wife gave ultimatum. I called her bluff, now divorced. Damn, that's cold on your end though, right? How so? I mean, ending a marriage over house guests? Ending a marriage over being told the marriage was over if I didn't accept permanent house guests? There's a difference. Oh, yeah, okay, that's different. People who don't know the full context think I'm the bad guy. People who do know get it. I'm okay with that ratio. No regrets. None. Could I have handled some conversations better? Maybe. Could I have been more patient? Possibly. But would any of that have changed the fundamental problem, that she prioritized her parents' comfort over our marriage? No. She made her choice when she issued that ultimatum. Thought it would force my hand. Instead, it freed me from a situation that was only gonna get worse. Her parents weren't leaving. They'd found a free ride and had zero intention of giving it up. She wasn't gonna force them out. And I wasn't gonna spend the rest of my life as a guest in my own house. So yeah, she said, "If you can't handle my parents living here, we're done." I said understood and made it happen. Best decision I've made in years. The house is mine. The peace is mine. The life is mine. No ultimatums, no boundary violations, no entitled in-laws treating my home like their retirement plan. She wanted me to choose. I chose myself, and I'm doing just fine. To everyone who messaged support, appreciated. To the few who said I was heartless for kicking out family, they weren't my family, and it wasn't their house. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Marriage is supposed to be a partnership, not you, your spouse, and their parents all living in your house while you pay for everything and get told you're too sensitive for wanting space. If someone gives you an ultimatum, call it. Don't negotiate with threats. Don't cave to manipulation. Just accept the terms they set and move forward. She set the terms. I accepted them. Everything that followed was her choice. Playing out. Now she gets to live with it while I live in peace. Cool? Cool.